You can barely see me, but I can see you guys. I have an analogy to make on imagination. You can just barely see me. Okay. Yeah. You can just barely see my face in the darkness. I shall describe to you an interesting analogy I have on imagination, inspired by a dream I had last week. It's an interesting concept for imagination, an analogy, as I keep on saying. And now we're going to take imagination and put it into a imaginary world of sorts, where that's where imaginary characters and things are situated in just sort of a projection where a child can project himself into it. Now, let's say, ooh, at the age of like the preteens, 11, 12, what happens then? Multitudinous directions can be taken, but I'm going to focus on two most likely outcomes. Either one, my outcome, sticking with your imagination, letting it run full force, or two, you lose sight of it. It disappears. It snaps out like a flame with its fuel spent. Hard to think of, isn't it? It's almost like having a Earth basically one day becoming absolutely nothing. That's the analogy I have, and I would like to apply a couple of more sort of in-depth descriptions into each. Well, I'm going to actually focus more on the second one, the one where you lose sight of it. So for the first one, that's the way I went. I still have imaginary characters to this day that I can perceive and see. Not really see, but like interact with. And for those who are going to call me creepy or weird for having imaginary friends, mate, you should look up some good. There are some good arguments to be made for having an imaginary friend or friends. But now let's move on to those who lose sight of it. Those who just simply lose sight of their imagination for a while. The ones who can't. I mean, who just simply don't use their imagination after the age of 12. What happens then? It's almost like, again, the example I gave earlier, it's gone. Like, that's when you kind of lose a good creativity boost. That when you don't have your imagination. I use my imagination, as I described in my pen video. I used my imagination to have an entire sort of set of stories in that sketch diary I described. That's all part. That all came out of my imagination and creativity. How how that all happened and stuff. Whereas those who are not as imaginative probably will do art based off of things that they've seen before, not really created themselves. Like mentally though, mentally. So I guess that's a little bit of a delving into this. I'll see what I can think about in the meantime. But I just wanted to let you guys know of that idea. But there is one fact that I should tell you. We all lose sight. Some of us lose, not all of us, but some of us lose sight of our imaginary mental worlds. And when it happens, it's sad. Oh, so sad. I myself couldn't imagine what it'd be like not having the imagination, the imaginative capacity to do what I have. Just a little. I'm gonna end you off with that. Just remember, when you lose sight of your mental worlds, all your imagination, all your imaginary friends, it can be sad for some. and others may not care. I shall leave you off with that message. Good night.